Her life's journey is now complete. In her last moments, her skin erupts with color. As if uttering her last words. She is not the only one to have made such an incredible journey. Every chameleon of her species is now dead.
Notice this guy taking a swig from his flask in the movie Titanic while the ship sinks? That character, listed in the movie credits as Chief Baker Jochen, is based on the Titanic's real Chief Baker, Charles Jochen. Titanic lore says he survived by getting a little boozed up, allowing him to withstand the frigid temperatures of the North Atlantic until he was rescued. Alright, scientifically it's debatable, but he was definitely drinking and he did survive, and helped a lot of others survive too. Jochen told an inquiry into the shipwreck that when the Titanic started sinking, he and the ship's bakers stuffed dozens of loaves of bread into the lifeboats. Then he and other crew members helped several women and children to safety. He testified that he and the others had to literally throw passengers into a lifeboat as the ship began to tilt to one side. Jochen also said he single-handedly tossed around 50 deck chairs overboard in the hope they could be used as flotation devices. Throughout all of this, Jochen was, let's say, taking the edge off. In his own words, he had a drink before helping passengers into the boats, and then once they were safe, went back to his cabin and downed a tumbler half full of some kind of liquor. Eventually, like we see in the movie, Jochen found himself clinging to one of the Titanic's railings as she sank. Yup, just like that. When his feet hit the water, he said he simply stepped into the sea and wasn't sure if his head even got wet. Some say he was the last person to escape the Titanic. Jochen estimated he was in the water for about 2 hours before he was able to climb into a lifeboat, which he said felt colder than being in the water. Now, we know today that alcohol doesn't actually make you warmer, it gives the false impression of warmth. But during Jochen's official testimony after the sinking, one examiner said he thought the baker's drinking might have saved his life. The Titanic disaster didn't stop Jochen from baking on ships either. He was a baker on several other vessels throughout his life and even survived another sinking while on board a U.S. freighter in 1941.
The history of Jekyll Island is a little scary. So there's a tribe of Native Americans that used to live there, the Timucua tribe. And the first settlers that came to Georgia were French, and they witnessed them doing blood sacrifices by killing small people.
Oh, goodness.
People small in stature or small in age?
Age.
Oh.
Yes. Very creepy stuff.
Both are sad.
Anyways, fast forward, the Timucua end up getting disease and stuff because of the colonizers and whatnot.
Man.
The white man!
So a lot of the elites, including the Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, the Morgans, came down and they said, we want to build our summer homes here. But the Rockefellers built their house directly over the altar.
The human sacrifice
The one that,
altar?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Directly over it. And that's where they decided to create the Federal Reserve. In that house.
Ooh.
As the doctor who killed Donda West.
Kanye West can end this by telling the truth.
And what do you believe that truth is?
The doctor had nothing to do with his mom's death.
The coroner was unable to determine the exact cause of death, but did not fault Adams.
The toxicology results were released this morning, and her exact cause of death is shockingly still unknown.
It is ruled as undetermined.
I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
9-month-old boy was arrested for attempted murder. The baby's grandfather took him to court where a judge granted him bail and told police to, quote, record his statement. What are they thinking? The child was arrested with his father and more than 24 others for reportedly attacking police officers.
Im Namen deines Sohnes, den Jungfrau, im Namen Jesu.
Nein, mir Klötze. Einmal mir Klötze. Oh, so down every line, und stier. Die müssen in eigenen Seminaren ausgebildet werden, die dürfen nicht auf die anderen Universitäten. Kapi? Ruhe gibt's nur da oben.
Ruhe gibt's nur dort, wo die Liebe ist.
Ja, bei uns gibt's nur, ja, no.
Nur Hass.
Ja.
Und wo? Als Kind Gottes.
Ich hab ein Moderschlag.
Did you know the nursery rhyme Jack and Jill has a morbid origin? It tells the story of the execution of the king and queen in 1793 during the reign of terror of the French Revolution. Jack is King Louis XVI, and Jill is Marie Antoinette. The phrase went up the hill meant their rise in power. King Louis was beheaded, hence Jack fell down and broke his crown. The Queen Marie Antoinette was executed after King Louis, so naturally Jill came tumbling after.
Around the rosy, a pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Ring around the rosy. The bubonic plague, or the Black Plague, would produce lumps on the affected people with a distinctive red ring around the so-called rosy polyp. A pocket full of posies. Plague doctors, you know, the ones with the creepy-looking beak masks, were known to shower a diseased person with sweet-smelling flowers, posies, thinking that they would ward away the disease. Ashes, ashes. When someone died from the plague, their bodies were cremated and turned to, you guessed it, ashes. Which brings us finally to we all fall down. With over 50 million people dead from the Black Death, 1/3 of Europe's population did, in fact, fall down.
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. They were all waiting for this one. Who was? Do you have any idea what you're singing about? Who doesn't know Humpty Dumpty? Excuse me. He was an egg, and he fell off of a wall, and he cracked into so many pieces they could not put him together, so that was the end of him. Have you ever heard of Richard III? Yes. And you remember the nickname for his horse? His horse? What did they call his horse? Well, the horse's nickname was Wall. And what happened when Richard fell off of Wall? He was slaughtered. He was bludgeoned so hard that they couldn't put him together again. Yeah. So Richard III was an egg? No.
Bet you didn't know this. Rockabye Baby is far from sweet and innocent. It's about King James II's infant son. So it's literally a death wish to an infant. A song wishing his death so he wouldn't get heir to the throne. So the sweet lullaby, not so much.
Remember that nursery rhyme, The Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man? That whole nursery rhyme is actually based on a real serial killer.
Oh, man.
This happened in the 1800s. His name was Frederick Thomas Linwood.
Okay.
Not only was he a serial killer, he was the first ever documented serial killer in the world.
Documented.
This is the first ever serial killer that they know about.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Frederick Thomas. Yeah. Where did he live?
Where did he live?
On Drury Lane. He lived on Drury Lane, just like in the song, right?
Oh, shit.
Now check this out. The reason he's called the Muffin Man is he would wait in alleyways and try to take kids and encourage them to come so he can kidnap them by giving them
muffins. That's so corny, bro.
Yeah, I know, but literally, this is true. This is literally what happened.
Yeah.
The reason they made the Muffin Man song was to warn kids and make them aware about the Muffin Man and how he's a danger in Drury Lane.
Oh, no.
So everyone in that area would sing, do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin. The parents literally made that song for them to spread the word and the message so that they're all aware of literally the world's first serial killer.
Suspected Chinese spy pigeon was released after 8 months of detention in India. Yes, you heard that right. A spy pigeon. Here's what happened. The suspected avian agent was captured back in May 2023 near a port in Mumbai, marked with words that appeared to be in Chinese. Police believed it was involved in espionage activities and took it in before sending it into a Mumbai animal hospital. In the end, it turned out the pigeon was an open water racing bird from Taiwan that had escaped and flown to India. The bird was sent to the Bombay Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals and set free by doctors this week. It's not the first time a bird has been suspected of espionage in India. The Associated Press reports that in 2016, another pigeon was detained after it was found with a note that threatened Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Homing pigeons have been used in spying and combat throughout history, including in both world wars. Some of them were even awarded military decorations like the French Croix de Guerre and the UK's Dickin Medal for their service in saving human lives.
Vanga predicted disasters in 2024. Baba Vanga is known as one of the most accurate prophets in human history, with many of her prophecies coming true. The world-renowned blind prophet Baba Vanga was born on January 31, 1911 in Strumica, but lived in various countries. According to will witness some significant changes. Natural disasters. Vanga predicts that natural disasters will increase and occur consecutively. The number of storms, earthquakes, and fires will rapidly increase, causing significant damage to people and property. Economic crisis. Vanga predicts that 2024 will witness a large-scale economic crisis that will have a global impact. Medicine. A piece of good news is that Vanga predicts that humans will find a way to defeat cancer in 2024. Quantum computers and artificial intelligence. Vanga predicts that 2024 will be a year witnessing the strong development of quantum computers and artificial intelligence. Energy. According to Vanga, by 2024, oil extraction will be replaced by a new energy industry.
Everyone's talking about the earthquakes in Japan, but take a look at this. This is the last 48 hours, all the seismic waves on this earth. Why is no one talking about this? Here's some videos from Japan and the earthquakes that hit on January 1st, 2024. This is the end times that we're living in right now. This is one of the greatest moments to be alive. A new island's coming up after a volcano. It's absolutely insane. And let's not forget to mention that the weather is completely different all over the United States right now. Once again, look at what's going on. Nobody's going to talk about this. I want you guys to open up your eyes and open up your heart. And this is not a scare tactic. This is showing you what's going on right now. And I'm crying out from the rooftops, believe in Jesus. He is the only way. He can set you free. And do not have fear. Fear does not come from God. Only fear the Lord.